Okay, Ben. Hands back. Look out at the ocean. And lunge on into a run. Good. Let go of the front. Run, run, run. Good. That was perfect, man. Now let the brakes up. Look at your hands and see where the brake compared to the guide ring is, or that little limiter. Brake a little, brake, brake. Beautiful. Brake, spin to your left. Brake hard, brake hard. Incredible, man.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Really looking good.
I got a sweet spot on that last one right after lunch.
Okay, Ernie, you want to take yours up? There's enough wind for it to pull you up the hill? No?
Take another run?
So if you add enough brake to pull you up the hill, it'll just fall back. Step forward. Brake more, brake more, brake more. See how far down the brakes are, right? Yeah. Worth noting that. Probably will eventually fall back. I'm amazed it doesn't want to fall back, huh? Notice what kind of brake line actually pulls the tail on that. So it's not necessarily so that when you have the brakes up to zero pressure, you have all of this drag of the brake line, right? So you want to like look and see what, confirm visually when the trailing edge is being unaffected. You can't tell just by pressure, but once you've seen it and then you notice how much pressure you got, you have a better sense of what brakes off. So brakes off is your maximum speed. It's also your shallowest gliding angle. So in order to stay clear of the slope, you need your shallowest gliding angle. Keeping your gliding angle by adding brake, you'll come back down to the ground. So you want to stay clear of the ground, you want to generally keep the brakes up. In terms of the airspeed that you want to maintain, the best airspeed is generally brakes off, but with your hand kind of hanging on the brake. So when you're feeling the hand, if your hands are completely up, you don't feel anything in your hand. But if your hands hang and effectively on the trailing edge, you feel it. You start learning the tone of that. A lot of information you feel. Well, so you having fun? Yeah. Right over there. Okay, you guys ought to go ahead and move your gliders on up behind this condor here because it's going to take off. Hello.
Years ago, Jim Woods and I got into an argument. We were both using our bullhorns. We had our bullhorns, and we got into an argument, and like, he'd yell at me, and then I'd yell at him, and then we both realized how absurd it was, you know, and then forever afterwards, we referred back to that time as dueling bullhorns, you know. He'd say something, I'd say something, you know, it's kind of like exchanging shots.
Is he still out here? Does he still come out?
No, I'm sorry to say he doesn't come out anymore, although, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about him not coming out anymore, because he didn't have the same commitment to safety that I did, and it always made me nervous that he was going to, like, you know, I went to Sweden in '89, and while I was gone, on one day, he had a guy that crashed and broke his arm, took him to the hospital, came back, and the next guy that flew broke both of his arms. And I think that kind of flipped him out to the point where he didn't want to train anymore. He trained a little bit after that.
So you should take those pads and slide them up until the constricted part of the pad actually slides up over the bolt head and the nut. And then they'll stay up. Make sure that both the bolt head and the nut are completely covered up, and then it'll kind of keep the pads up out of the way.
So,
you've got quite a turnout today, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like there's quite a bit of interest in both paragliding and hang gliding today.
Well, actually, this is about the first day in a while that I've had almost as many hang glider pilots as, actually the morning started off with more hang glider pilots, more hang gliding students than paragliding students. So this is kind of a switch. One of my students came out today and said, boy, this is really funny. He said, I've gotten so used to being the only hang glider pilot out here. It's nice to see a bunch of pilots. So, and now we've got a couple more. Now, actually, I think there's probably just one or two more paraglider pilots.
And what's the experience level of the people out here? Are the
From the first day, this guy here that is about to fly is on his first day. Okay, Ernie, you hooked in? Yeah. You can pick it up. And the guy with the orange glider walking up to the top, this is his third day. But he's extraordinary. Nose down, nose down, nose down. Bring the nose down. You can get behind me. I think you're just in position. Although maybe you shouldn't get behind me. Sometimes I get right underneath the glider. Okay, you see the beach part? Yep. Okay, nose down, nose down, nose down. Bring the nose down. Nose down. Take a mental snapshot of how the wing looks right now in relationship to the horizon. And next time, now you know how high to hold the nose, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so look at the beach part. Stay in the center. Right wing up a little. Nose down, nose down, nose down, nose down, nose down. Steady, and you can run. Run smoothly, run fast, keep it in, keep running, keep it in, keep running, keep it in. Left, center, center, out, left, 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 left. Out, 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 out. All right, very good, Ernie, that was excellent. Okay, Pat, you just fly right towards me. Ernie, if you would, pick your glider up and move off to your left. Which way you're facing now, that is, yeah, move to your left, yeah, move that way. Okay, Pat. Pat, don't explode into your run, land. Out and in means just an inch. Good, now hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Loosen your grip. Out, 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 flare. Very good, Pat. Okay, Kate. So this exercise is to establish the student's ability to control the canopy. Keep the canopy from surging forward and to keep the canopy from falling back. And right there it fell forward and started to collapse. So that's the kind of thing that we're trying to avoid. And the student, the exercise is pulling the canopy up and then walking down the hill, but specifically without flying. And the intention is not to fly, but to keep the canopy straight overhead and keep the canopy taut. And walk down the hill, and then if the student is good enough to do that, maybe they can walk back up the hill. See if you can get it to pull you up the hill. Will it pull you up the hill? Add some brake. Don't be afraid to use a little brake. See if you can get it to move you back up the hill. Not quite enough to move you up the hill, huh? See, what this exercise does is it teaches you what it feels like when it starts to fall over backwards, and if you can have it pull you up the hill without it falling over backwards, that means that you have a sense of where that limit is. Ernie, after Bob walks down the hill, then you can take the glider back up and give the harness and glider to Don. Yves, you're clear. glider here on the right is an old glider, and a glider that the guy that's flying it is not very familiar with. So it's kind of hard to know what to expect from either him, having not seen his flying before, or from the glider, because I don't know that much about the glider.
Hold still, Yves. Hold still and come left. Good. Just relax, Yves. Relax. Loosen your grip and hold still. Get level. Get level. Just hold still, Yves. Look to your right. Smooth input. Be smooth. Smooth, small input. A little more right. A little more right. Good. Get level. Get level. A little left. Center. A little more left. Good. Good. You're okay. Get level. Flare hard now and hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Good job.
Oh.
That's all right. He doesn't mind getting hit. You mean too far out when? Yeah, I think you felt... You just looked a little uncomfortable right at the beginning of the flight.
What happened as soon as I launched? I started to get a little bit of a turn. Then I corrected, then I went up. Then I said I'm going to go straight for little while, I went straight. And then I said I'm going to start my left turn. And then I had a bit of lift on my left wing. And I was kind of fighting it. And then I went a lot further before I was actually making the turn.
There was a couple of times where I had the thought that maybe you were flying so slow that your roll input wouldn't have been effective.
I may be flying too slow there, yeah.
Just remember, anytime you're having a little difficulty in steering, just pull the bar in 1/4 of an inch.
That's why it's tough to get accommodate some thermal and so on. I lose the sense of where the zero point.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it's too late.
Well, if you're flying along and you try and turn and it doesn't feel like it's turning, pull in 1/4 of an inch from wherever you are.
Okay. The nose is up. It just really wants to make it pitch up. That's why I started to kind of really nose down.
Well, if the sail's inflated, it's not going to be good. And if it's still heavy, walk a little slower. The faster you walk, the less the wind is helping you. See, because you're going with the wind. If you walk real slow, then the wind helps you. Just to be, I just, once you go from the top there, you get so comfortable. You're going too fast. You're going too far out.
Oh, no, it's hard. Like when I lost one for a while, it was too high. I was scared myself.
So like I agree. Why?
Yeah, that's good right there.
Yeah, the higher normal cruise. So you're on final limit.
Hi, how you doing? What's your name?
Ben.
Ben, my name's Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm just out here shooting a little bit.
Oh,
Is this your first day out here?
yeah,
Or first time? How do you like it?
it's pretty neat.
Yeah?
Yeah. It always looks kind of interesting when I try it.
Run smoothly and don't push out or pull in. Right, out, clear. Don, keep your eyes on the beach part. On the glider steady. Keep running even as you're lifting off. You can run. Good. Keep it in. Keep it in and look at the beach part. Good. Hold still. Flat.
What's your name?
Bob Pepper.
Hi, my name's Gary.
Hello, Gary. What are you doing?
I'm making a little movie here for KCTV.
Oh, yeah. KCTV?
Yeah.
What's that? Where's that?
Yeah, right here. It's a very small local channel.
Cool.
So how many times have you been flying?
5 days.
Oh yeah, and how do you like it?
Love it.
What's your impression on flying?
Well, if there's anything else better to do, I haven't found out what it is yet. Well, maybe. There's a couple things, but it's a pretty good thing to do.
Pretty close to the top, huh?
Yeah. Have you done it?
I did hang gliding a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Gotta try this.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So Ken said.
Really good.
Yeah. And so what are your plans today? You're going to fly it a few times from the top here?
Kind of looking at what Ken has in mind. He's the instructor. Later on, maybe fly from the top some. Just trying to polish up canopy handling.
And how was this as far as learning? Difficult, easy, hard? How'd you rate it?
Oh, well, let's see. I think it's pretty easy at first, but it's very subtle. So the subtleties are hard. Subtleties are hard for me, but the basic things you can get off the ground in about 5 flights. You know, so it's sort of bewitching. You get off the ground and then you can't solve all the problems associated with getting good.
And is that when the real thrill comes in? Is when you get off the ground, or?
No, I think it's got a lot of fun aspects all of the time. Just what I'm doing right now, it looks like work, but it's fun. It's fun.
Looking out over the coast.
Yeah.
And why did you choose paragliding as opposed to hang gliding?
Pardon me?
How about why did you choose paragliding as opposed to hang gliding?
Well, that thing weighs 75 pounds. That hang glider. This one's 15. You can put it on your back, take it anywhere you want. I think it's easier getting into it to begin with. It's slower. I think it has the same level of safety. I like the fact that you can go just about any place with just a pack sack on your back, and if you find good conditions, you can just flying. That is a very beautiful thing, and it's faster, but on the other hand, you've got a larger thing to carry, put it on the top of your car, all those things. Harder to find places to fly, I think. That's why I chose this.
Sounds good.
Yep.
What was that name one more time? Your
My name?
Bob?
Bob Shepherd.
Bob Shepard. All right, thanks, Bob.
You bet.
right brake, hard right brake, hard right brake, hard right brake. Bury the right brake, bury it. Here, left brake, left brake, left brake, left brake. Okay, so you'll back up a few steps. Take your front, you'll be ready to go again. So look. Now there's anything I'm going to tell you. This time, take a step back. Good. Hands back. And you can run. Good. Let go of your front. Brakes up and run. Run, 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 run forward. Right brake and run forward. Right brake and run forward. Run, 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 run. Let the brakes up and run. 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 Look at the ocean, not the ground. Look at the ocean. Keep running. Good. You're okay. Getting a little more wind now, so it's kind of tougher to deal with. You're just fine. Glance up at your brake lines and look at your trailing edge and see if you can see where the brake line first starts to pull on the trailing edge. Turn right a little. Look out at the ocean, the horizon. Keep your orientation. Good. You can still see where you are in comparison to the ground. Good. Walk. Brakes up and keep moving forward. Brakes up a little. Brake a little, brake. Now when it does that, invert, brakes off, step back so it deflates to the edge. Just like you did before. Step back. Don't inflate it. Hit the right brake. Good. Step backwards again. Get it to inflate. There you go. Good. Good. Now you can throw your brake in place. Coming up quite fast enough. Either you have to have a little slack in the line or you got to pull harder with your body. You got to keep going forward when it feels like the front's pulling back. Back or not. So you don't want to do it pull you back and fall you back. Right? You have to go back. You have to pull you back and your body moves over and let it let it load with your body. Okay, you hooked in, Ernie? Almost normal, huh? Okay, Ernie, pick it up. Hands a little bit lower. Hold the glider steady, nose down a little, right wing up. Enough wind that it makes it a little bit of a challenge to keep it balanced. Good. Let it rest on your shoulders. And hold it steady. Feet together. And you can run. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep running. Good. Hold still. Little left. Little left. Center. Right. 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 Out a little. And flare all the way. Straighten your arms out. Good, Ernie. Good job.
Just going to follow you around a bit if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. I love photographs. What a life, huh? Did you could I do that would be cooler than this? I mean, if I had to, as a little kid, I had to wish for something that really seems magical and exciting. I mean, what kind of occupation could you wish for that would be better than cameraman? Good job, Ernie. Yeah, looked great. How'd it feel?
You know what, Ken, maybe you can introduce us to the people as they launch. Maybe
Yeah.
say a tad bit, like this is their first day, second day, and
Okay.
what they're doing, and what
do
they're
that?
looking to do. And
Ernie, why don't you reach back and take your carabiner and bring it around and get all the straps down to the bottom of the carabiner, and then hook it back on the front of your harness.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps it a little more orderly. You're doing good. Just fine. Remember, if you don't want to turn, stay in the center.
Yeah, it does, like, kind of end up going this way.
Yeah. Sorry, you know, any direction you take is okay. I mean, you know, if I think you're too far off to one side, I'll steer you. But really, what you're trying to learn how to do is to just stay level.
Yeah.
So if you feel that you're turning, now that's not the same as just pointing that way. But if you see the horizon moving laterally across your field of view, you're turning, right? So if you feel like you're turning, roll back to level. If you feel like you're turning right, get over on the left side of the bar until you see the horizon stop moving left or right. Your goal is to be level, not necessarily to go to some specific point. Any of these directions are okay, but we want you to be level. So your goal is to master flying level, and to the extent that you get tipped off to the right or the left, to get back to level. Later on, after you got that down, then turning is a relatively simple extension of that process. Just to move over that way some more, and then we'll let Pat Sanchez fly. So this guy I don't know very well, and this is the first time I've actually ever seen him fly. And he's flying an old glider that he doesn't know much about. And it's an old glider that I don't know much about. And he flew the oldest original hang gliders in the early 70s when he was over in Hawaii, and described his flying experience as fairly substantial, but that remains to be seen. So the problem with people describing their own experience, most everyone has an inflated view of how good they are at something. But to his credit, I have to say he's doing pretty good. Especially for the time period from which his experience comes. A lot of his techniques and habits are typical of the time of the early 70s, kind of jerky, and he's unaccustomed to this kind of glider.
what kind of changes were made with the gliders and with the techniques?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe it exactly. I think we've just become a lot more precise in our actions. So he's just, in the flights he's made today, he's smoothed out considerably. So just hold still and see what happens if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Flare. You stalled.
I know.
Yeah.
Take it up too far.
So it might be that the glider is trimmed a little slow, but it's really hard to say. I think the safe flight, the range of safe speeds on these older gliders seems to be kind of narrow, and the stall characteristics were rather
Yeah. So I got to keep it like this.
rough. Well, I don't think you were very far off. You know, I actually kind of surprised.
I lost it like this, like side out.
Like I felt it. Something like this.
Yeah.
Like the older gliders in this era were a lot more firm, solid, skinny, as were the original standards, but it wasn't until late 70s that they really started improving the characteristics to where they didn't have as much percentage of skin. draped over the back.
Yeah.
Right. You might try having it draped
Or,
over the
yeah,
front.
I was going to try that tonight.
And that would increase your trim, your hang point, and move your hang point forward about that much, and that would have a pretty substantial effect on the glider trim down. So the trick is in checking trim is you got to be relaxed enough to slowly relax your grip on the bar. You can't abruptly relax your grip on the bar because the bar, let's just say, trim is by definition a neutral position, right? It's a position from which, if you don't do anything, if you don't push away from it or pull towards it, the glider just tends to fly at the same point, right? So if you pull in and then you let go real quick, the glider's trying to go back to trim. Right. If you pull in and let go, it can shoot out into a stall. Even a glider that's trimmed properly, if you pull the bar in and then just abruptly let it go, it'll pitch up and you'll swing back and it'll stall. So you have to learn how to check the trim by slowly relaxing your grip on the bar. And if you feel like it's starting to stall, just slightly pull in. If you slowly relax your grip and you slowly work your way into a stall, it shouldn't require much more than a small pull in and you're back to flying. Right? So in order to check the trim, you have to do a series of relaxing your grip and checking, and then correcting if necessary, and then relaxing your grip and checking. And I mean, just because you stalled just then doesn't assure us that this glider is trimmed. If you stall, it might be that you inadvertently let it out too quickly, or you pushed a little bit, or something. So we still don't know how the glider is trimmed at this point.
Ernie, why don't you step right back over into position?
Paul's up over at Wilcox, right down there at the point.
Which one's Paul?
See more than one?
No, who's Paul?
Oh, okay. Hey, Paul is the guy that actually lives on the property, on the Wilcox property. Before him, there's a guy named Larry, and the way it came about is Larry was just standing on the bluff, and of course we'd flown there for many years since the early '70s, and struck up a conversation with a man that turned out to be one of the owners, somebody connected with Santa Barbara Capital, and the guy mentioned that he wanted somebody to live on the property and be a custodian, and Larry said, okay, I'll do it. So he put in a couple of trailers, and they got a permit and everything, and then he's since moved, and Paul took over that spot. So Paul now is the guy that actually lives on the property and serves kind of as a custodian to make sure nobody's up to, too much vandalism or rowdyism or...
Does Wilcox provide good flying for paragliders?
Wilcox, when it's on, when the wind is blowing, it's an excellent place. If there's not... Santa Barbara is an unusually light wind area. The National Weather Service, or I'm not sure who, maybe, or NOAA, measures the wind year-round, and in Santa Barbara, the 24-hour, 365-day-a-year average is 6.2 miles an hour, which is a good 3 miles an hour less than most towns. We have an unusually light wind block.
Okay, Ernie, you hooked in? You can pick it up?
Well, Ernie's on his first day, and this is about his probably his 7th run. And in hang gliding, you start off
Get your hands a little bit lower.
doing some runs down at the bottom before you actually get up to where you can fly.
Right wing up a little. Right wing up some more. Tell you what, why don't you back up and go to your left. Bring the nose down, back up and go to your left. We'll get you a little bit higher. Good, now back straight up the hill. Yeah, that's good right there. Perfect. So now just hold the glider steady. Don't let the nose come up. Hold it steady. Don't let the nose come up. Right wing up a little bit. And you can run. Good. Keep it in, and keep running. Out just a little bit to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Pull yourself to the left! Flare! You okay, Ernie? So Ernie, I said pull yourself to the left, and you started actually moving to the right a little bit. Okay, clip the carabiner back on the front of your harness. Get all the straps up and over you. Now take the wires to the tail. You see the wires that go to the tail? Do you see where the tail is, first of all? Nope. Yep, that's the tail. See the wires that go to the tail? Take the wires in your hand. Pull on the wires until you have the tail in your hand. Good. Get the tail in your hand and stand behind the glider and turn the glider around until its nose into the wind. Yeah, that's the way. Bring it around that way. Pull down a little on the tail. You need to keep that tail down, Ernie. You need to keep your hand on the tail. Maybe just drag it straight back out by the tail. Can you do that? Kind of tough to do, huh? If you let that tail get up, the wind will blow it right over. Now just lunge backwards and drag it with you. You won't hurt it. That's right, just drag it right on out of there. Lift up on the tail just a little. Keep coming. Drag it right on out. Don't be afraid to pull hard. You're not going to hurt it. So put the tail down. Okay, what you should do, Ernie, is before you go any further is pull all those little stickers out of your skin. Take your time, pull every single one of them out, or you'll be very unhappy if you don't. Ernie, just stand by for a minute. I'm going to have Ben fly, and then I'll be over there in a second. Okay, Ben, keep your eyes on the ocean and lunge. There you go. Let go of the front and keep running. Keep running. Brakes up and keep running. Keep running. Lean over and keep running. There you go. Look out at the ocean. See where you're going. See that tree gap? See if you can steer towards the tree gap a little. Let your hands kind of hang on those brakes if you want. That's right.
Walk forward, lean forward, lean forward. Let the brakes up. Let them up. Let them up. Okay, just a little bit of brake. Get your hands closer to the riser. There you go. Good. Now turn. Brake and turn. Brake, 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 brake. Step to your right.
What do you think of paragliding now that you've, after 10 years of hang gliding experience?
I kind of lost my nerve though. I don't know if I want to try it.
Does it look easier or more difficult to learn or fly? Mm-hmm. What brought you out of hang gliding?
Oh, I wanted to move up and get into flying airplanes. I bought an airplane. Had that for a few years. It's too expensive.
Is airplanes were you like that because of the speed or the?
You can go places. I used to like to go camping. Go out to the desert, land on BLM property.
Okay, your goal, by the way, is to reach flying straight and level. Don, keep your body upright. Don't lean over. Keep the bar in. That is, at least don't push out. Keep running. Look at the ocean. Keep it in. Keep it in. Yeah, you need a little. There you go. That's good speed. Smooth input. Keep it level. Out a little. Out a little. Out. Right. 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 More right. Got to keep steering as you're coming in. Now you got to get the tail down. Tail's behind you. Turn it back into the wind. No, stop. 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 Turn it around into the wind. Turn it all the way around until the nose is into the wind. And put it down on the tail. The tail's behind you. Put it on the tail. Put it on the tail. Tail's behind you. And then turn to the right. Bring your right arm over all of the straps and just turn the carabiner to the front of your harness.
You know, every time every now and then I'll run into a situation where somebody like this guy shows up and got some plane he's a pretty good experience from years ago, and I'm so gullible I buy it. And then they show up with some glider that I don't know, and I look out, I don't know how it flies. And a lot of the gliders that were made in those days, I mean, there's a good chance that this thing was manufactured and never flown by the factory, because even the factory didn't have it. And so this guy gets it, and trying to kicking stuff for being so easy in some of these funny gliders. That could have really whacked. You whacked pretty good. Yeah.
Does Dave Saffold still fly out there at Old Cost?
Yeah, you know, he's one of those things.
Is Dick and Dave, are they both still around?
Yeah, he's still flying. He's still central.
Every time I see him, one of the video sequences, he remembers everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. You know what a savant is? A savant is like the guy in the Rain Man.
Oh,
Rain Man.
okay.
They retarded guy was a savant. And Dave's like that. I mean, he's not as far out of control as or crazy. Yeah, he's schizophrenic. Yeah, but he's
schizophrenic and savant.
Well, I mean, he's got to be a savant. I've never known anybody. I mean, not only does he know your birthday, but he knows Gary's and mine and Carl's. And, I mean, that's one of the first ones he asked to meet somebody. And it's, most of the time, I mean, if you ask him who was born on the same day I was born, he'll name off 10 famous people. Yeah, he knows people's birthdays. He could tell you who else was born on your birthday, who else was born the same day you were born, or a year later, a year before. I mean, it's got to be a savant. I mean, that's kind of what a savant is. They have some extraordinary talent that's kind of like hard to explain. I wouldn't. It's not popular anymore to refer to people as idiot savants. It's kind of a cruel characterization, but I mean, the savant aspect of it has to be appropriate for this.